Have you ever been scrolling online and seen someone use the terms America, Latin America, and Hispanic America, and thought, wait, what's the actual difference? You are definitely not alone. These terms get mixed up all the time, but they refer to very different, beautiful, and diverse parts of our world. Stick around, because today we're going to clear up all the confusion, and I promise you'll walk away with a much clearer map in your mind. So let's start with the big one, America. When you hear the word America, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most people, it's the United States of America. You say, I'm American, or we talk about American culture and we're usually referring to the US, but here's the mind-blowing part. Technically, America refers to the entire landmass of the Americas, a supercontinent stretching from the Arctic Circle all the way down to the tip of South America. That means if you're from Canada, Mexico, Brazil, or Argentina, you are also, geographically speaking, an American. This supercontinent is typically divided into two major continents, North America and South America. North America includes Canada, the United States, and Mexico, as well as the countries of Central America and the islands of the Caribbean. South America is everything south of Panama. Think Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, and all their amazing neighbors. So, while people in the US have colloquially adopted the term American, it's good to remember that it has a much broader, more inclusive geographical meaning that covers hundreds of millions of people across dozens of countries. It's a classic case of language evolving, where a specific term becomes shorthand for something much larger. But in international contexts, especially in other parts of the Americas, using American just for the US can sometimes cause a bit of confusion or even feel a little exclusionary. It's a fascinating quirk of language, isn't it? Okay, now let's move on to our second term, Latin America. This one is all about language and cultural history. The term Latin America was coined in the mid-19th century by French thinkers. Why? Well, they wanted to create a cultural connection with countries in the Americas where Romance languages are spoken. What are Romance languages? They are languages that evolved from Vulgar Latin, the language of the Roman Empire. The big three are Spanish, Portuguese, and French. So Latin America includes every country in the Americas where the primary language is Spanish or Portuguese. This covers most of South America, like Brazil, where they speak Portuguese, and countries like Argentina, Colombia, and Peru, where they speak Spanish. It also includes Mexico, most of Central America, and several Caribbean nations like Cuba and the Dominican Republic. Here's a key point. Brazil is the largest country in Latin America, but it is not a Spanish-speaking country. It's Portuguese-speaking, but Portuguese is a Romance language, so Brazil is firmly part of Latin America. What about countries where French is spoken, like Haiti or French Guiana? Yes, they are also included in the definition of Latin America. So, when you think Latin America, think of a shared linguistic heritage rooted in ancient Rome. It's a cultural club defined by language. This brings us to our third and final term, Hispanic America. This one is also about language, but it's more specific. Hispanic comes from Hispania, the Roman name for the Iberian Peninsula, which is modern-day Spain and Portugal. However, in modern usage, the term Hispanic specifically refers to things related to Spain and the Spanish language. So Hispanic America is the group of countries in the Americas where Spanish is the official or primary language. This includes Mexico, most of Central America, and the Spanish-speaking countries of South America and the Caribbean. Here is the crucial difference between Latin America and Hispanic. America, Hispanic America asterisk, only asterisk includes the Spanish-speaking countries. That means Brazil, where they speak Portuguese, is part of Latin America but not part of Hispanic America. Similarly, Haiti, where they speak French, is in Latin America but not Hispanic America. Think of it like a Venn diagram. Latin America is the big circle, and Hispanic America is a large, overlapping circle inside it, but they aren't exactly the same. All of Hispanic America is part of Latin America, but not all of Latin America is Hispanic. The term really highlights the shared history and cultural influence stemming specifically from Spain's colonization of the Americas. So let's do a quick recap to make sure it all clicks. America can mean the entire supercontinent of North and South America, but is commonly used to refer specifically to the United States. Latin America is a cultural and linguistic term for countries in the Americas where Romance languages, primarily Spanish, Portuguese, and French, are spoken. And Hispanic America is a subset of Latin America, referring specifically to the countries where Spanish is the predominant language. Let's test this with a few examples. Is Mexico part of all three? Geographically, it's in North America, so yes, it's part of the Americas. They speak Spanish, a Romance language, so it's part of Latin America. Since they speak Spanish, it's also part of Hispanic America. So Mexico is a triple threat. How about Brazil? It's in South America, so it's part of the Americas. They speak Portuguese, a Romance language, making it part of Latin America. But because they don't speak Spanish, it is asterisk, not asterisk, part of Hispanic America. And what about Canada? It's in North America, so it's part of the Americas. But since the primary language is English with French in Quebec, it's generally not considered part of Latin America, though Quebec has a cultural link. It's definitely not part of Hispanic America. See? Once you know the rules, it all starts to make sense. Understanding these distinctions is more than just a trivia game. It's about respecting the rich and diverse identities of millions of people. Lumping everyone into one category erases the unique histories, cultures, and languages that make the Americas so vibrant. The experiences of someone from a Portuguese-speaking community in Brazil are different from someone in a Spanish-speaking community in Colombia or a French-speaking community in Haiti. Each region has its own music, food, traditions, and a unique way of seeing the world. By using these terms correctly, we show respect and acknowledge that incredible diversity. We move beyond simple labels and start to appreciate the complex and beautiful tapestry of human culture on our shared continent. It's about being more mindful, more precise, and ultimately more connected to our global neighbors. So the next time you hear these terms, you'll be an expert. You'll know the geography, the language, and the history behind each one. I hope this video cleared things up and gave you a new appreciation for the incredible diversity of the Americas. The world is a fascinating place, and the more we learn, the more we understand each other. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring the bell so you won't miss our next exploration into the fascinating corners of our world. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Are there any other confusing terms you'd like me to break down? Let me know. Till next time, stay curious.